All right, we've got Vanderbilt head coach Tim Corbin accompanied by players Austin Martin, Tyler Brown. If we could silence our cell phones prior to asking a question, please state your media affiliation. We'll pass you around a mic. We'll start things off with opening comments for the head coach, and then we'll take questions for the players. Coach.
Well, there's really not much to say. I thought Chafin did a nice job. He settled in after the second inning and kept the ball for a while, preserved their bullpen until they got to Hoffman. Hoffman's a tough angle. He ate our hitters up. We didn't have anything to do with him. We pitched relatively well. We turned 3 double plays. I hope our tennis team won. I mean, that's about it.
Questions for the players first now.
Adam Sparks with the Tennessee. And Tyler, how did you kind of approach when the rain delay happened, and after the rain delay, what did you do during that hour, and how did you feel like your poise was coming back?
I just try to keep everything calm, stay calm as much as I can, do everything again for my teammates behind me. My defense was amazing. They helped me a lot, and it was just getting back to throwing strikes and doing it for something bigger than me, and that was my team.
Austin, this was your first postseason. It's same for a lot of you guys, you freshmen. You had 3 hits. Do you see any benefit in that you've kind of broken that seal? You've had your first game in the postseason.
I mean, it's exciting. It's great to play in this arena with these quality of teams. Wouldn't necessarily say that I'm excited about my 3 hits because it wasn't enough. More important is getting that win today. But they played better than us today.
Austin, is there any concern that you guys have hit the ball really well the last 2 weeks? Today, not so much. Is there any concern that that's something that could carry over into the NCAAs?
No, it's hitting, it's streaky sometimes. I still have a lot of confidence in my team, and I know that we'll be able to bounce back after this.
Do we have any more questions for the players? Coach hold tight. Guys, you may step down now. Thank you.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Tim, there early you guys kind of had Chafin on the ropes, and he kind of was able to settle in. What were you kind of seeing from him, or what were your hitters kind of saying that he was able to do to kind of keep you guys off balance?
Well, I think it was a breaking ball more than anything. He was dumping that in. We were missing it, and then he got some big outs when we had guys in scoring position and when we got leadoff hitters on. We couldn't multiply at bats together, and got on leadoff I think twice, I believe, and then there was a strikeout and flyout. So yeah, he did a nice job when he had to.
And I guess as a follow-up, kind of looking ahead to the postseason, obviously today didn't go the way you wanted, but the last couple of weeks you guys have played really well. What's your feeling on this club kind of getting ready for the regionals now? Because obviously you guys are in.
Well, it'll be fine when we get back to school. It just sucks now, but yeah, it's probably not the right time to ask me. But I think once we get back and regroup, you just get out of this conference. You take a deep breath and you just say, all right, let's get the hell out of this conference and just move on to something else, because it's tough. It's tough. It wears kids down, and it's a lot of good baseball, and you get into these one-game single elimination games, and they're tough to play. You open it up, and then there's probably some anxiety with both teams. I'm sure Rob would tell you that too. But if we didn't win, hopefully we've done enough with our resume to move forward. And for Rob's sake, I hope he keeps on winning. He's a good coach, like him and his staff, and hope they can further themselves.
Tim, you said kind of the idea of getting out of the conference. Your guys knew that last year. You went on a run after you early exit. You got a lot of freshmen this year. Mm-hmm. Do you need to communicate to them of what kind of they've had to deal with being in this conference?
Yeah, I will at some point. We'll talk about where we are and put perspective on everything. But those young kids, I wouldn't say it standing right next to me, but they've been very consistent on our team. You look at the body of work, and from start to finish, Martin, DeMarco, and Clark have offensively done more than what you would want out of a freshman group, out of a first-year group. But they have, and then a lot of times they've held us together. And Marty had 3 hits today and a tough at-bat with a guy at second, but that doesn't take away from the type of ball player he is. He's a good player, and like him and Tyler Brown and some of Hickman and some of these other kids, they've actually played well in their first year.
We've got time for one more.
Tim, a lot of coaches have said that when they come in here about how tough the grind is in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, what is it that's so challenging?
It's just the games themselves and the tightness of the games and the taking the game down to the end and the execution of pitches. I mean, you're on every single pitch. I mean, that's what it is. It's a pitch, it's an at-bat, or it's a swing, it's a play, and those are the separators. And today, you know, we turned some very good double plays, but when we weren't, it bit us because they scored a couple runs and opened the door. So it's just these small things, whether it's a base running mistake, that end up costing you. And I think it's just living those moments out day by day by day by day. And, yeah, tough.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I'm saying these are the right guys, right? Oh, Hoffman's not? Hellman? Okay, thank you. I like that percentage. Hey, listen, you're going to get far more out of that than me. Don't worry. Far more mistakes will come on my end. Trust me. Don't worry. My cell phone, John.
He's quick to get up after loss.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to hold him here, man. I know it's.
It's all water on the job. They don't like the water.
He didn't throw it.